I just got another fridge for my Cybertruck. This one goes down below the bed line. So today's video, what do I think about it? How much can I fit in there? Would I buy it again?
This came really well packaged. This box you see here came in a larger cardboard box that was unmarked, so you wouldn't know it was in it. Well, what's in the box? Well, it's really simple. It's a fridge, a cord, and some very basic hardware that comes along with it. Then you do have this little instruction sheet, which gives you your steps 1 through 6, but they're all really simple. If you need this, I don't know, maybe this isn't for you. And that included cord I mentioned just plugs right into the side.
So one thing on the direction is really simple, but also would potentially be very easy to overlook, which could cause damage, if not totally making your cooler unusable. And that is, you do have to pull the drain plug out of this compartment. If you don't know, there is a little plug down in there. That little plug down in there is allowed you to pull it out in case you just want to put like ice or cooler. If you get water down in here, you can remove that plug and let all the water out. Really cool feature. The exhaust that gets rid of all the hot air that you're creating by making this cold air is exhausted out through the bottom of this. It's actually a really ingenious design, but if you don't remove this drain plug, this cooler will not vent out. Best case scenario, just overheats and stops cooling. Worst case scenario, you fry your cooler. Don't forget to take this plug out. Now that I have this drain plug pulled out of that little hole, there is one other thing I have to do. It comes with this little bumper. This is gonna help both set it down nicely onto place, but also bridge the little gap between where the air comes out of the cooler and actually goes down. This is actually gonna also act as like almost like a sealant to help keep hot air out on a hot day, but also just making sure that air and exhaust is straight out. This is gonna go down here in the base. There's your little hole down below. That's the drain plug, of course, it's already been pulled out. Then this is the little piece that comes with the kit. It's gonna go into its place. That big part here is gonna go to the back like so. It's gonna go on. It just sets kind of down in that hole. Now the whole cooler is gonna go down on top of that. Something unrelated, but it's still kind of cool. If you look down in here, you'll notice all the way around the little lip of this is really clean up into a point where you see all the dirt and dust and grime that I'm just accumulating from normal use in the bed of a pickup truck. The cool part is the inside of where that little seal is showing, where it's actually still really, really clean, which is actually real encouraging, because to me this means this little fridge and anything else I put down in this lower compartment is actually going to remain fairly clean. This seal is going to keep out that dirt and dust, which is especially important if I'm going to be putting a several $100 refrigerator down in the back. Because I wanted to show you this, I purposely didn't strap this in first. That when you have power to that and it's actually rectifying, you'll see there's a little green light here on this power block, even if the fridge is not on.
So with that being said, as you turn it on, you get this nice, very bright display, but it is in Celsius, which is probably a great time to start talking about the app. So here you're seeing an actual view from my phone where you have that little QR code where you can click right on the instruction sheet. You select what kind of operating system your phone has, whether it's that Apple or Android. Then it opens up to an app that looks like this. Now my app is asking me to enable rather than just download, and that's because I already have this app on my phone that I've used for another fridge in another Tesla. And as soon as you open it, you hit a little thing that's searching for a nearby Bluetooth connection, which will be your fridge, which of course you need to have on. Then you just hit that little connect button, and within a few seconds it connects and you see the little display of your fridge. Whereas you can see I'm adjusting that temperature up and down, but of course it is in Celsius. Let's switch over to that menu. 2 things I want to do. The first of which is I'm going to label it or name it, which I cleverly name it Cybertruck Bed Fridge. I know, real original. And then I will go ahead and change the setting to Fahrenheit, a temperature I actually understand. Then one last thing, very worthy of pointing out, the little pictures on the side of the dial on either side will show you what temperature you'd want to put the fridge at for each of those little individual things for their best cooling results. Pretty simple, pretty cool little app. And then here is the inside of the fridge. You see there you got a nice little bright LED light, and that's really it. Little nameplate up top. And then it latches really secure.
Now let's talk some pluses and minuses. Let's start with the minuses or some of the downsides. I don't care for how this plugs in. So as you can see there's no actual outlet down below here, so you have to get your power from the bed right here. And I don't like that even with this down, I see this cord out all the time and I can't shut this door. So if my fridge is working, it plugs in right there with it sticking out. It just looks, I don't know, a little hokey to me. But in that same vein, you could actually twist this as a positive in that because it's so easy to plug in, there's really no installation process. You just plug it in and drop it down in there. The last one, and again, I'm nitpicking with this one, I expected this to fit just a little bit more custom and wrapped and edgy, really nice, tight in this little hole. Now, don't get me wrong, it fits good. It's not like it's jostling around, but especially around this top area, I would have maybe expected it to like branch out and really fill this whole void. As you can see here, I just have this tiniest little bit of extra space over here, and then obviously some tiny little space over here. Not a big deal. I just thought it might fit tighter. But the flip side of that, where it probably matters the most, is it does fit very tight and flush to the roof of this. With this door down, I can feel it's like right there on top of it, but not laying on it. As far as the depth, that part is very accurate. But for what it's worth, if I decide to use this long term, which I'm pretty sure I will, I like the idea of having the fridge back here. I'm gonna find a way to reroute this power and plug it in another way. So make sure you subscribe to the channel because it could be a month or two on the road. I'm definitely gonna be doing that on a future video. And now the upsides. This was an unintended upside, which we'll have to do this and then finish in the garage because it's pouring rain outside. And with that, this has now been sitting in the rain while I'm finishing up this video for about 2 or 3 minutes now. Seems to be working just fine. Honestly, that is a plus for how pricey this refrigerator is. Unlike that fridge in the front center console of the truck, which I absolutely love, this one here is very, very easy and actually very practical to take in and out of the truck. As you'll see here, there's actually little handles on both sides. It makes it very easy to pull it out of that little compartment below and get it up top, even if it had heavy things in it like ice or liquid such as pop or tea or anything like that. And again, to kind of combat what I used as a negative earlier, the fact that it does plug just directly in and there is no hard wiring, it's actually very easy just to unplug and take out. And it is a very standard 120 volt outlet that anywhere in your house would take. So if you needed to use this in a pinch anywhere else, you could just pull it out, plug it in, and it's a refrigerator slash freezer. That leads me to the next point. The fact that I can exhaust or vent entirely out of that little drain plug down below allows this to fully seal on the top end while still venting out that hot air down below. That's actually a really ingenious, really thoughtful design plan in this whole fridge. And the last upside that I really do like and appreciate and have a lot of use for is the fact that it's Bluetooth enabled. And beyond the Bluetooth enabling, it has an app, and a plus side from many fridges I've gotten in the past. The app is actually a common app you can get on the Play Store or on the Apple Store. It's not some janky app you can only get through the browser, which was the case in some fridges I've gotten in the past. But for what it's worth, it is just Bluetooth. It's not Wi-Fi enabled. So while you can make these connections remotely with your phone, you still have to be within that Bluetooth range. You have to be that 5 to 10 feet away. So if you're in the truck, or if maybe it's in your garage and you're close by, you could get it, but it's not like you could be camping 30 minutes down the road, walking trail, and fire it back up from your phone where it'll turn on for you. Would Wi-Fi be better? Sure, but still, I'll take Bluetooth, and I'll take it especially on that nice app that I can get through my Play Store. The next two positives are kind of a twofold, and they're really the most important two things you might want to know, and that is how fast, how quickly it gets from a room temperature down to a really cold temperature. And the second part of that is just how extremely cold this thing gets. It's not really a fridge if you don't want it to be. It can actually be a freezer, and almost to the point of where it could be a deep freezer.
So if you're not familiar, the average freezer runs down to about 0, maybe -2 degrees. This freezer actually runs down to -8 degrees, which is going to keep even something like a really high sugar content ice cream totally frozen. And in addition to just how cold this gets, it got today from 78 degrees all the way down to that negative actually 10 degrees in about 45 minutes. So it's really quickly working. And now for the dimensions. It's almost 18 inches wide, and front to back it's measured almost exactly 10 inches, and the depth is going to come just over 8 inches, which means it's just big enough for a 12 can of pop, but not quite big enough for 2.
Another benefit to how good of a seal does this make, it's only going to help insulate this and help keep your fridge cool once it's already cooled it down to temperature. That's just going to help your overall efficiency. And now that I've tested it, I know it works, and I want to actually put it into the truck. I am going to use the little included Velcro strips that it came with to help fasten this little thing here to the side of the fridge. That way it's easiest to pull in and out without it getting caught on the side. Because if you don't, I've already learned from experience, you will continue to get it caught. Now, I have found the best way I think to do this is to put it diagonally just like this. And the reason I say this is when I was just putting it straight up and down like this, I felt like it bound here on the top of the plastic. And then also this stuck down a little bit below what I was comfortable with. And it almost like bent when I was pushing it on the bottom of the car. And I don't want to continually bend this back and forth. So I felt like I wanted this end up. That gave me the longest cord to go up to that little outlet out there. And this was most flexible on the bottom, which kind of works. So I'm going to fasten it like so.
And with that Velcro stuck on both sides, I just kind of tuck the excess cord in.
And one last downside, the instructions say that you can't use this unless you're at least 8 years old. So if you're 7 or under, you're out of luck.
Oh, man.
So as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. The instruction says you can't use this unless you're at least 8 years old.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Unless you're at least 8 years old.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
7 you're under, you're out of luck.
Oh.
Unless you're 8 years old. So if you're 7 or under,